So from the last episode, basically stuff happened. The kids meant the children you meet in the actual movie. Stuff happened. It was kind of usual in a weird type of way. Stuff happened in canon, but also changed a tiny bit from the what if. Not only that, technically speaking, there was also a little bit of a, how should you say, difference, because the fact being that, hey, there's a character that's not supposed to be there, Commander Thorn. Yeah, I know, surprising, isn't it? But besides that, he's there, things happen, and the freaking all-for-one guy, the guy who got that copy of it, who attacks the island, happened and all that. Turns out Nana Shimura's heading there. Surprising, isn't it? And not only that, well, I shouldn't really say Nana Shimura. It's more like Kendo, isn't it? I just like playing with you guys a little bit. But still, she's heading there with a bunch of special clone troopers. So, just saying. But besides that, well, Deku had a vision of, well, Mr. K, or the clone, mysterious clone, that gave him the ability to summon these clones, warned him about a certain individual. What's gonna happen? Well, we'll find out very soon. Also, sorry if I've been very, very slow with what ifs. It's just a lot of stuff has happened and kept me distracted from them. So, yeah, sorry about that. That's all I have to say. And so, now let's get into the what if.
Deku's response. Well, yeah, in the end, K, I'm just trying my best here to really come up with more clone units. Do you have any ideas besides the ones I came up with? K responds with, well, yeah, I do like your idea for Spartan-like clone. They are a very unique idea. So all I'm saying is give them a shot. See if you'll like them or not, Because in the end, before you make all good decisions, it's a good idea to test out your units, right? Or ideas. Make their commander and a small amount of them and have them have a little test run. Since, well, there is a situation that your sweet darling, Kendo, is dealing with. You could send them over there as backup, just in case. And I'm not doubting Kendo's abilities, but it might help. And I know she already has ARC troopers and a few clones of her personal unit, but it would be a good idea if we did that anyway. Trust me on that, kid. Deku thinks about it and he says, very well, we can do that. So should we get their production on the way? K responds with, yes, we shall. In the end, it's up to us whatever we choose to do, right? But, however, there is more pressing matters at hand that you will have to figure out when you wake up. After K said that, Deku wakes up, looking around his, custom type place that he technically had some people build for him. It's in a mountain somewhere, trust me on that one, but it looks like the clone base on Coruscant, I'm just saying, it's just how it is, because I like that one. That one looks really cool, so trust me on that one. But besides that, he walks around the location, seeing cloning tanks and all that. The reason he remembers why he has these cloning tanks is, yes, he can produce clones, but it does drain his energy so much. So it's a good idea to have equipment to do it for him, since, because of his benefactor, it practically gave him the knowledge of any, Star Wars technology for the clone army. So, but besides that, he just walks around and looks at a screen that is technically connected to the clone Nana Shimura, or in this case, the real one. What's the word again? Oh yeah, Vishtis, or basically the soul that's in One for All of Nana Shimura. There we go. I'm leaving this in here, by the way, because why the fuck not? But besides that case, yeah, so basically the Veshtis version of Nana is there, technically. So, yeah, it makes the real Nana Shimura. Who would have thought? Who would have expected that would happen? But anyway, besides that, technically speaking, as they were doing that, he looked at the monitor, and he has put a camera in one of the eyes, by the way, in a way where this Nana Shimura would never notice or even feel it. But he looking through her eyes and all that, seeing that she's doing a mission currently, scouting on the League of Villains for a little bit, as he thought, for now, they're not a big of a threat that I thought they would be. Then he radios in and says, Nana, I need you to relocate at the Liberation Front. I need you to check on them more. Stain was going to wipe them out, but I told him not to yet. I want to find out their ideals, everything about them before I decide to either attack or leave them be for a little while. Because we both know what would happen if we wiped out a target too fast, don't we? Nana Shimura says, "Very well, sir." After that communication, he thinks to himself, how can I make these Spartan clones better? How can I make them surpass what I have been thinking? Then, he just thinks a while, thinking of a bunch of upgrades and stuff to do to his Spartan clone, when he gets hit with all of a sudden a voice saying, "I feel one of mine nearby. I wonder, what is my, army generator doing here in this reality?" Deku heard the voice, knowing who it was. It was the person that, K and him were talking about. Something that even brings fear to the one who can create life for war. But he ignores it for now, continuing with his task. But then, we cut to Nana Shimura doing her task. She left the League of Villains base area and went off to go find the Liberation Front's base or whatever. Really? This is a very simple operation for her, because honestly, she just has to infiltrate their ranks, Because really, that's all she has to do. Because, no one has seen her face before. No one knows that she was a hero beforehand. So, makes life more easier for her. As she's sneaking around in the base, she thinks to herself, kind of weird that I'm practically a new being, but I'm also an old one? What am I in this case? What am I? Who am I? Truly? It doesn't matter. Just finish the mission, I guess, right? Yeah, that sounds completely right, doesn't it? But besides all that, she continues going into the base, just going around at this point, just exploring in this case, But while she's doing that, she just comes across looking at a few things and also wondering, how in the heck, when did she get in there? Simple answer, she just, kind of snuck in a bit. Just pretend to be someone who's a part of it. Some people are very dumb, that's all I gotta say. But she's exploring and she finds out a lot, that they have a big network around a decent part of Japan. A lot of soldiers ready to raise arms up against Japan's government. But then she gets a communication from Deku saying, talk to their leader, just get his attention and let him know where I stand through all of this, okay? Nana Shimura says, yes sir, I'll do that at once. Then the communication cuts and she starts moving, finding Redestro in his office. The real one, by the way. Just letting you guys know so no twice shenanigans happening here. And she reveals herself, saying, Redestro, I know who you are. He turns and says, who are you? I don't think we had any eyes on someone like you. She responds with, that's fine. It's just, I serve somebody else that has a big army than yours, in a way. But not only that, he wants to talk to you personally, if you're willing to hear him. Redestro says, what? What do you mean? Explain a little bit. She just throws a hollow communicator onto the desk as a holographic Izuku shows up and says, Redestro, nice to meet you. Well, I guess in this case, hologram to hologram. But before you say anything, let's make this clear. I know where all your locations are. I know where everything is. I've already had a few of my scouts outside of them. And really, all I gotta say is, you sure your plan's gonna work how you want it? Because in the end, yes, people can use their powers freely, but what about the ones who can't do things in a justful way, if that makes any sense? But hey, I ain't you. You want to do that so you can disrupt society, show everyone how miserable you've been, isn't it? Redestro looks at him and says, are you making fun of us? You thinking my goals are a joke? Like the man before me was a joke? Deku looks at him and says, kind of. I can't really talk because the fact being, once I did not have any powers. I was quirkless, and people called me useless. A useless Deku, they called me. But yet, you think they, people like you with power, should be able to do whatever they want with their powers? Did you ever sit down and think to yourself if that was smart, if that was even a smart move in the beginning? Because in the end, there's a chance a lot of innocent people could get caught in the crossfire. Not only that, it could be very, very, very bad for all of us here. And I'm not just saying me, I'm also saying it for you. In the end, I know you're a businessman, and in the end, I'm letting you do this, but I'll tell you my stance on this. Honestly, I don't care. I don't really give a damn. You could do whatever you wish. I sent my little spy here so I could see how things are a little bit and get to talk to you. And also, don't think of relocating your base. I'll find you in a heartbeat. Trust me on that. And besides, I doubt you would want, well, the innocent ones in your army to be affected, right? Because again, fight for your freedom, right? I've been thinking to myself, how could I be the best hero I could be? Simple and easy. I have to show the world the corruptions that are in this country. Show that, and then help the people. And I mean, honestly, I know I'm sounding like I'm spilling an evil plan to another villain or something along the lines, but in the end, I'm the good guy, and you're the bad guy. I have a lot of plans, dude, and I plan on changing society. So all I'm asking, will you join me? Destro looks at him and says, you know, you make a fair point. I never thought about things in that way. Yeah, I'll join you, but however, I still want to be leader of my liberation army. Deku says, that's fine. That's completely fine. I don't mind that. I'm just saying, in the end, you and me need to work together. And if I can write some laws for you, and you do me some favors behind the scenes, we could be an unstoppable duo. And we wouldn't have to do unnecessary violence. Think about it. Less restrictions on certain things for, well, quirks. And in return, you help me have people able to fight for themselves against villains. And I'll keep the laws and ways that will discourage people to be more heroic and able to use their powers for good, and not just waiting on a blindless hero to do it for them. Think about it. Think how many people we could save in that way, too. Destro thinks and he says, that's fair. Honestly, that is a really tempting deal. But there's one last thing. If we do this, if I work with you, could you make sure something? Deku looks at him and says, what is it? What do you want me to make sure of? Destro says, all I'm asking you to do is make sure that in the end of this, once everything's exposed and all that, can you show that I help at least a little? I don't mind that, but just I need to let them know that the Liberation Army helped liberate Japan from these corrupt political freaking senators and people of whatever, even the Hero Safety Commission. Deku says, yeah, I know. They're very corrupt. Trust me on that. I already have some of my, well, clone guard who are guarding them, actually, ironically, in this minute, technically telling me everything and every dirty secret they spill. And even if the clones are not in the room, technically speaking, a few of them did smart moves and, did certain things. So either way, you and I will make sure a lot of people will be behind bars, and you will be remembered as a hero. In the end, it's a fair deal. Destro says, fair enough, but how would I contact you? Deku looks at him and says, with this device, the thing that's right in front of us, I'm gonna let you keep this one. As long as you let my assistant, Nana, leave without getting attacked or anything. And after that, I'll contact you to do certain things behind the scenes. Because in the end, I don't want you guys to get hurt. I know you're just doing it for the betterment of, well, humans in general. But in the end, you need someone like me to make sure you guys don't lose track of your humanity and who you are as people. Then Deku looks at him for the final time and the communication is cut. Destro looks up and says, don't worry, you. And before he could finish the sentence, she was gone, like if she was never actually there. I guess in this case, Deku used that as a power move, in a way. But it's just how it is. In the end, Deku was successful with this. He knows that for a fact, as he's just sitting there thinking to himself, I wonder how long it will take for Nana Shimura to get here. I can't wait for her to meet, well, her new selves in this case. It doesn't really matter, does it? They're clones. But hey, can't wait until she gets excited knowing that she technically has sisters. at least for now, depending on what happens. And that's where I'm gonna leave it off. Yeah. If you enjoyed this video, please check out other videos that should be, well, on the screen. Not only that, hey, make sure to comment whatever you want. I will look at them, or try to, depending on what time period you see this video on. And one more thing, just, sorry if I made these videos come out very late. I just been genuinely getting distracted in other real world stuff that's been stopping me. But besides that, you all have a good day and peace.